All right, all right. I would like to say good afternoon to a lot of my viewers. Hit like and subscribe. This is What If Studios. I am the host, Darius Davis, and today we have a young gentleman by the name of Shaw Unfiltered, and I am going to allow him to kind of introduce himself, tell kind of a little bit about itself, a few, of his beliefs. I'll kind of introduce who I am. I am a educator, um, great state of Alabama. I have, I am a history teacher. I have a major in interdisciplinary studies, history education. Uh, I have several certificates education wise and several certificates in history. I am like I say, I am also a ex coach. Well, I'm a current coach. Also, I am a author. Written four books. If you hadn't got a chance to check those out. Also, many different things. I run a nonprofit organization, Rise and Lead Nonprofit, and now I'm here to present to you What If Studios interview of Mr. Shaw Unfiltered. Mr. Shaw Unfiltered, can you hear everything I'm saying?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you great.
Tell you a little bit of background about myself. It's not too impressive. Um, only graduated high school. I don't have any degrees whatsoever. Jumped right out of school and started cutting trees. Got my own business going. Um, my father, two boys. My wife is Filipino. She come here legally, and that's pretty much it. I live a simple life.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Um, so I believe I think when I talked to you earlier, you are a Christian.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Christian. Okay. All right, Christian. And politically, um, what side of the field do you kind of align yourself on politically?
So I'll be on the conservative side, more traditional values. More God and country.
Yeah.
That's where I stand firmly.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. 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 Um. Also, I'm going to get into first. I just want to ask you a little bit about first off topic question. Our president, President Trump. I didn't know if you were a supporter of his or not, or how do you stand on that issue? On me on President Trump.
I'm a supporter of his. There's a few things that I think are a little far fetched, but for the most part, I'm proud of what he's done. And he is someone that he ran on certain policies, and he's the only president that I know of that have actually delivered on those policies. I mean, whether it pissed off um, Republicans or Democrats or the Independent Party, I mean, the man's done exactly what he said he's going to do.
Okay. 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 All right. I'm gonna get into this. Right now, there's a lot of hot topics going on, and the first thing I want to start out with is the topic on immigration and what we got going on in the United States with our particular borders. Um, I want to ask you about that. How do you think we're handling that border situation as far as President Trump and his leadership? How do you think we're dealing with the situation? Do you feel that we're taking good care of the borders right now?
I think the border, has record low crossings right now. I mean, every other country, almost every other country, has borders, and they enforce their borders. So why shouldn't we be able to enforce ours? You know, there's a lot of legal stuff that's coming across the border right now that shouldn't happen. It needed to happen, man. I mean, I feel strongly on that.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you say legal stuff or illegal stuff that's coming across the border? Uh, I think I heard you say illegal stuff that's coming across the border.
Yes, sir. Illegal stuff. So you got the child trafficking, you got drugs, and uh, you got the cartel that's in control of all that. Uh, they were, man, they ain't no, I don't even know the numbers on that, so I can't speak on it.
I understand. I understand. Now, I would say like different people would probably kind of some people from the other side would maybe say, um, man, it may not be all 100%, coming across the border. We may have it coming in some other places. Would you
Well, that's
disagree?
that's very possible. It could be coming in different places. It could be coming in through the border. I mean, through the right crossings. You got people all the time that are smuggling stuff in containers, um, anything. And
Okay,
now they got an issue with people flying drones, trying to fly drones across the border delivering drugs.
good gracious, whew, man, that's something. Wow. And so, do you and just to kind of piggyback on that a little bit, get on to that a little bit. Do you really believe that we have a huge problem, with illegal immigration here in America?
I'll say this: I looked this up yesterday. Matter of fact, we have is 1.9 million self deportees
Okay.
that have self deported themselves. Now,
Oh,
ICE itself has only contributed to about 600,000 something.
okay. All right. So let me ask this question: do you believe that ICE would be the immigration unit um employed by President Trump? Do you really believe that they are doing their job in basically trying to arrest people and get them deported?
Now you know just as well as I do in cops in general, any law enforcement, there's
Yeah,
bad cops and there's good cops. And now
yeah.
for the most part, I do believe that those people are doing what they're supposed to do. And I
Okay.
want to believe that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I do think that it's needed. I mean, they're here illegally and their children. So check this out. They come across illegally
Mhm.
and their children automatically become citizens. You know, before Mexico, the people in Mexico were doing that. You'd have a pregnant woman that was about to have a child. She would come across the border and have her baby here. So she
Wow.
would start getting benefits and stuff like that. You know, that's just a loophole that man, that's got to stop. And I'm proud of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I understand where you're coming from. You know, definitely in for whatever's legal, legal matters. But do you think that as far as that goes, I just want to ask you a little bit about your background. I know you was telling me that I think earlier that your wife is not from United States of America.
No, she's from the Philippines, and like I told you before, you know, I asked her this question before I told her how I felt about it because I honestly wanted to know her true feelings on the situation. I said, "Now, how do you feel you coming here legally versus someone coming here illegally?" And she told me, she said, "You know how long we had to wait to get over here? It was about 2 years. And I'm not going to tell the exact amount of money that we spent to get over here, but just that self alone makes it not fair." And she said it's not fair.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I can understand where you're getting your reasoning from because you're looking at okay, your wife she came here and she did it the legal way, you know,
Yes,
and
sir.
other people coming in and they doing it the illegal way.
So you got these people coming in illegally. You have them draining our system. You know, all this money that could be going to, you know, we got homeless veterans on the street. You know, we got poor kids, poor families that we could pull more resources towards or that should be pulled towards to helping these folks.
Okay.
But instead we have these illegals, immigrants that we're having to front the bill for.
Okay. Okay. Um, Now, some other people probably from the other side would probably, ask you the question. When you say that foot the bill, what do you mean by foot the bill?
So us as U.S. citizens, you know, we pay our taxes. We pay our taxes. Um, so, what is it? I don't even know what the retirement age is now. What it used to be 62. When we get to the end, we should be drawing our benefits, our
Yep.
retirement. All right. So now, what's going to happen whenever these people start work or come over here? They start working these under the table jobs. They're not paying taxes. My question is that I don't know is do they get these benefits? Is it fair that they get stuff that we've been paying in that American taxpayers are having to front? Can you answer that question?
I can see where you're coming from on that though. Most definitely, I can see where you're coming from on that. Um, Now, what some people would probably say is that what they're doing as far as working on some of the jobs that we would not work on, like roofing jobs, some of these jobs that are low pay and hard earned, they would say, hey, they're working those jobs, so allow them to work those jobs. And in that being said, they would be paying their taxes back when they buy stuff, when they, different ways of paying their taxes back that way. Um, this what what a person would say. Um, as far as an argument. But I'm listening to you, what you're saying about that, and I can see your perspective on that.
I got you. It's something that needs to be talked about. I mean, on both
Yeah,
sides.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's this is one thing that I'm glad we can actually talk about these things. We don't have to you see these people on the internet and you see news articles. We don't have to be violent to talk about things. I mean,
That,
that's what we're supposed to do.
that's it. That's it. Be able to talk about it, and at least get your opinion. I want to hear what you have to say about it. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do with this show and be able to understand more about where you come from um, with that. Um,
Yes, sir. So, how do you? What is Are you a Christian?
I am. I am a Christian. My I'm a Baptist Christian. I want to say that it might be a little bit different. Difference in Christians of with Black Americans Christianity may be a little bit different than most Christianity. It's a little singing and dancing and um, a little difference in opinion.
Culture
Because
differences. Yeah, I understand that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
So
we as a nation, we're all Americans, man.
yeah, most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. I 100% agree with that. We're all Americans. Um,
We're supposed to be on the same team. This
most
country is divided in half right now. It's crazy.
it, it is, it is, it really is. Like I said, it's supposed to be on the same team. And sometimes when we go to the Olympics, we get an opportunity to compete on the same team, but sometimes, some reason, we are competing against each other, at home sometimes, so that's very
Yeah, I
interesting.
hear that thing making too much noise over there. I think it's interfering with the conversation right here. Sorry about that.
No, you good, you good, you good. I can hear you clearly, man. All right, I'm gonna ask you another question about a few of the things. If you were to you had some ideas about some of the things we could do different about the border. What would be just one thing that you would change about the border?
Well, right now, I like the direction that it's going. Now, I would love to see some automated like motion device, maybe some AI drones going in there. I mean, that's really it, man. I mean, they've got it locked down, like really
Yeah,
tight.
yeah, yeah. What I'm gonna say is, I remember you telling me about your wife, and it took her 2 years. You say about 2 years?
It was right at 2 years, yes, sir.
Good gracious. I would like to see if it be possible we could speed that up. If we could speed that process up, and when you get people in here, tell them, okay, you are good to go. You can come in here and work or whatever you want to do. Or if not, you're a criminal. You need to go back.
Mhm. That's
Let's do
right.
that. Let's speed that thing up, man.
All
And
right.
if we could speed it up, that would probably help quell some of these people who, you know, want to come over here illegally and stay, and because that's some of the gripes that I hear them saying. Well, I've been here 2, 3 years, and they still hadn't decided upon whether I'm supposed to be this or supposed to be that. If we could get more judges in the court systems, and we could get that going and get that thing speeded up, get that process speeded up, then maybe that might make a difference.
So, and I agree with you 100%. So, and when we're thinking about getting these people over here, Trump, I think it was 75 countries that Trump stopped visas for right now coming over. And these are, I'm not sure if all of them are, because I'm not going to sit on here and feed a bunch of bull that I don't know, or whatever. But I know some of those countries are people that are in Islam, like the Islam religion or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, Islam, I don't know how familiar you are with Sharia law and stuff like that. The women wearing the burqa, um, the Quran is evil. I mean, if you're a Christian, you know that as well as I do. The Quran is evil, and in there they preach about killing the infidel as glory to their God. Now, I believe 100% that if we're going to have legal immigration to come over here, and we're already picking what people we want to come over here, they should share our values. You have countries out there that are Christian nations that want to come over here, that want to work and want to contribute to society. You don't have people coming over here talking bad, deaf to America, all that good mess. We need people that want to be on our team, that are happy to be here.
Okay. Okay. Um. Now, I would say, I would think that you can kind of look at any factor within a religion and probably find some stuff in there that's probably not good. You got some Christians that are, I would say, a little bit over the edge or radical. Also, I hate to name people that are Christians that are, but of all religions,
Christians on Sundays. I know what you're saying.
you know what I mean. And I would hope that kind of like our declaration, that all people of all religion would be able to kind of get along. I know America's experiment. We're trying to experiment and get it right, but I would hope that we all be able to get along, no matter what race or color or creed. We'd all be able to get along. Um, so, um, would there be any kind of way that that would be possible? Sometimes we go into the military. There's Muslims. We go into different sectors, different places. Should we be maybe, let's say, precautious of different religions, or should we try to talk about it and work it out and see if these people are working for the same thing? As I can understand, we have certain situations where things people have went radical, but should we find a path to get there? I just want to ask you that, or should we just try to say, hey, man, we just don't need to even risk it or try it?
So from what I've seen, and I don't know, let me ask you this question. And I'll finish answering. Have you been keeping up what's been going on in Europe right now? Have you been keeping up with all the Islamists, all the illegals coming in? Okay, you say okay. So
Yes, sir.
you look at that situation, and you have all these Sharia law courts that have come in, and they're taking over the nation. They're taking over the nation. People there, they're crying. We need them gone. They shouldn't be here. And you have those same people, and it's going back to answer your question. You have those same people coming over here and telling us what's happening there, and telling us that they see small fragments of that starting to happen. And there's a lot of it happening in Texas. So if they're going to other countries and they're trying to, they're not even trying to adapt to other countries' cultures. They're coming in trying to take over and force everyone to kneel to their ways. That's exactly how I feel about it.
Okay. Okay.
We should not allow that anymore. I know that's not going to stop, but that's how I feel about it.
Gotcha. 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 Okay. Um, like I say, I have been following it, and I'm not exactly sure you know if that would be a like I say a widespread thing, or that might be some small occurrences or that going on. But I probably do a little more research on that to be sure. Because like I said, we have a lot of stuff going on at all times. Within the United States, and sometimes it's a small scale, and we sometimes seem to say, oh, okay, they're taking over. You know what I mean? So I definitely will take a great look at that. Let me get into a couple of more questions. When we take a look at, I want to ask you this question now. When you're with your wife, and I know
Hmm.
she's out, do you ever like if you ever saw a ICE or immigration officer, would you be
Never.
nervous, with your wife?
Oh, you said, would we be nervous?
Yes, yes.
I No,
You wouldn't be nervous.
I wouldn't be nervous at all, man. We've done everything legal. She has all her paperwork, everything like that. I mean, what have we got to be nervous about?
Okay, okay, that's understandable. That's understandable. Okay.
Now, I shows up in a neighborhood where there's a bunch of illegals. I can imagine they'd be taking off pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when we're looking at, I'm gonna go back just one more time to some of the contribution of these illegals. I know you said that they are, um, we're footing the bill for them, but do you see the contribution of some of those that, like I said, maybe doing those jobs of, doing some of the hard jobs and low pay that we don't really like to do? Do you see any value in that, or do you see some other solution to that?
Man, I'm just gonna be honest. I think right is right and wrong is wrong. I mean, from the get go, before they even come across the border.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, okay. Like I said, even though they're here illegally, and they so called are working on these jobs and hipping our you know do jobs that we won't do, they may be still in the wrong. Is what you're saying?
Oh, okay, so let's set this out. So you have these people, which we're calling illegals. They
Yes,
come over here. They're doing jobs that you say people don't want to do. They're
yes,
working for cheap, and these
yes.
employers know that they can hire them for cheap. And so, not only that is affecting the poor communities, because now instead of them going out getting a job making whatever amount, they're having to work with these work. Oh, they're I'm sorry, man. They're having to work for the same price as these illegals, or they're just not going to be able to work. They're going to have to find work elsewhere. I
Okay.
apologize for fumbling just then, but
Oh, no, hey, I 100% agree with you, man. When I say I 100% agree with you, there was a situation with me personally. When I was just coming out of high school, there was a particular job. I won't say the name of it, but there was a lot of presumed to be illegals on that job, and I think they did a raid or something like that on that particular job. And man, when I say the floodgates of just American workers start coming in working those jobs, and now they're making high pay to work on those jobs.
mm-hmm.
Uh, you definitely have a point there. But that was on a specific situation. I don't want to put that on every case and every situation. You know what I mean? So you have a point there at some point, but I still would like to take every situation with a magnifying glass and look at it that way. I don't want to give it a general overall. You know what I'm saying? Fit, because I have my young, they worked on some jobs that I saw. Like I said, I think about those employers. is that you think there'd be a way that we could maybe find these employers or try to do some action towards employers and get them to stop um, hiring so many illegals and maybe hire more American workers?
Darius, you are more conservative than what you realize. I'm going to tell you that right now because I have been thinking that for the past few months now. Now,
Yeah,
whether you look in yourself, you can figure it out, but I think you're more conservative than what you realize.
you think so?
I do.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that we look at, man. We look at it with a magnifying glass. We're probably, like you say, are closer in the middle than we are uh, to get separate from each other. Once we really look at all the issues. One more thing, another thing I want to ask you. I'm gonna get to another big thing in this country is crime and law enforcement. Um, we hear these words defund the police. Okay, what do those words defund the police mean to you?
Shit. I mean, I mean, could you imagine this country a lawless nation without some kind of governance, without law and order? I
That would,
mean,
that would be crazy.
and they talk about want to take guns away. I mean, really? Look at what is it, Australia? When they took all the guns away, their crime rate went up to the
Yeah,
roof.
yeah, yeah. And I hear the old saying. They say that it's not, was it not guns that kill people, or is it the people that, I mean, people that kill
Yeah,
people? Not,
you got it.
you agree with that?
You got it, man. I mean, guns, guns do kill people, but it's the person's mentality that what kills a person.
Yeah, yeah. Now let me ask you this question, man. Especially when we get into the gun thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was at a gas station one day, and this young kid, I want to say he was maybe 12 or 13. He had a gun, a big, huge gun, like a military weapon, and he's getting out the car with it. And I'm thinking, man, he's what, 13 or 14?
Good
Uh,
lord!
should I be in fear? I don't know if you grew up around guns, didn't you?
You said, should you be in fear?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay.
But the question is, did he get that gun legally?
I don't know. Did his parents give it to him?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Well, what I'm saying, like, if we got, you think about it now, we got a lot of guns out here. I know you probably will raise your kids, try to raise them as responsible gun owners or gun users, right?
My son's 13, and it's squirrel season here in January, so he's out. He killed his first squirrel. Was it yesterday? Day before? 2 days ago. So
Awesome.
yeah, we're teaching proper ways to handle a gun.
Yeah, yeah.
But he ain't got a
But
real gun. He's got air pellets.
got you. Yeah, this kid had a military assault rifle.
That is a problem.
That's an issue, right?
That is an issue.
Okay, okay, okay.
One hundred
And
percent.
yeah, and so do you think that we should probably have some kind of laws against that?
We do have laws against that right now.
Okay, okay. But how would you think that these kids are getting their hands on these guns?
Oh, I think you know as well as I do by hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Okay, okay, okay. But if we sell guns to responsible gun owners and people who have passed gun checks, these kids shouldn't be able to get their hands on these guns, should
They shouldn't be able to get their hands on. 'Em.
they? Yeah,
So yeah, we gotta figure out that like 100%. We got to for a child at that age, you see him pull out a gun at a gas station.
yeah,
There's father problems right there immediately.
yeah,
That don't know if that father was not present in the life, or if
mm,
it was just a bad father,
yeah.
or what's going on. We Our children are our future, man.
Oh, I agree 100%, man. That's why I'm in the job I'm in now. Our
Dude, I'm
children
impressed with wait. I'm impressed with you, dude. Your career, I am very impressed with you.
appreciate you, man.
Hundred percent.
I appreciate it. But yeah, man, I like I say, and if we could figure out some kind of way where we could make it where, I mean, we had some type of laws where people could not get their hands on those type of guns as easy as they get them, uh, or there was some kind of, I don't know if you believe in stricter gun control or
Well,
um,
something like felonies, they can't have guns right now.
you know,
I think certain mental disorders aren't allowed to have guns.
and
I
not
mean, I,
allowed to.
I don't I don't know what else we could do. Alabama changed. Used to you could go to a gun. I call them gun markets. You could go there and you could buy a gun and not have
Yeah.
any paperwork on it. But now every gun you sell has to have a paper trail on it.
Okay. Okay. And like I said, we have to look at that with a magnifying glass also. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm not exactly
You
sure.
you
Like
going to bed, buddy? All right. Good night. I love you.
I,
Sorry about that.
yeah, you good. I remember when there were times when you could go, like I said, to one of these gun shows, just buy one like it wasn't nothing. Um, and we do a magnifying glass to see what type of ID you need. How can they tell if you have a mental disorder, or do they run it through a system? What all do they have? Because it just seems like to me we have too many different types of like I said, these automatic weapons, these switches. Do you see any room for that type of those type of weapons? What would we use those type of weapons for?
I mean, automatic weapons.
Yeah, yeah,
I use automatic weapon. 30-30.
yeah,
Well, it's not automatic, but semi-automatic.
yeah, yeah. You use that for
Uh,
like hunting, or
Hunting, yes.
okay,
Target practice.
okay,
Shotgun, shooting skeets, shooting birds.
yeah,
Um, the whole country boy can survive ordeal. I mean, I'm not
yeah.
going out trying to hurt anyone unless they come over here screwing around.
Got you, got you,
Darius,
got
do
you.
you carry? Do you carry?
I don't, I don't
Do you
carry it.
do you own any guns?
I do.
Okay,
I
so I'm
just,
talking about.
I just have a personal belief that I mean, if I bump into you, you got your gun and I got my gun, it might be an issue.
It evens it out.
Well, I mean, you you pull yours faster than I can pull mine. You know what I mean? But now, I'm not gonna let nobody come in my home and bother my family.
Absolutely. So just like whenever we go on trips or whatever, I mean, the only gun that we take with us is a 9 millimeter. We go on trips somewhere because I mean the world's crazy right now.
It is. It is. I agree. I agree. Now let's take a look at some of those countries like Great Britain. They have very strict gun control laws, um, and their crime rate is a lot less than what ours is. I hate to compare, but you think we'd be open to doing something kind of like Great Britain?
Mm, no, I think their whole country is completely different culture than ours.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no on that.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. 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 All right. I'm gonna get a couple more questions in, and talk about um, you know a little bit about the government, how it's ran. Um, so a lot of people think that taxpayers right now are getting robbed. Okay, a lot of people think that our tax money is not going to where it need to go to. Um, do you believe that um, everybody is getting their return back on the taxes that they pay right now?
Uh, man, who likes who likes taxes? Come on, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree. Nobody likes them.
I'm gonna be honest. As a business owner, I haven't seen a return in quite some time. Uh, every time that turns around, I'm always owed. So, I mean, I would right now. I'm actually looking for a full time job, and I'm gonna do my business on the side. maybe that would help me. I don't really know how to answer that question, Darius.
Yeah, yeah. Man, that's interesting, man. I really do feel like, I mean, we pay a lot of taxes, and we don't really get as much for them.
So how do
Um,
you feel? How do you feel about Trump right now? I don't remember if it was 100,000 or if it was 150,000. He was trying to eliminate income tax for the people. Let's just say it's 150,000 or hundred
mhm,
thousand. We'll go with the low number. So how do you
yeah.
feel about eliminating income tax for the people that's making less than $100,000 a year?
I mean, to me, like I said, that sounds great, doesn't it? That sounds great. But when you talk to a lot of experts, the issue with that would be, uh, some of our programs would probably be cut out. We'd have to make it. I mean, this is like budgeting in your own home. If you decide that you're gonna cut back on certain things, you're like, man, I really love that refrigerator, but we have to do without it. You know, we got to get money from somewhere. That's the
So
way
do you
I look.
think that? So do you think the tariff revenue that's coming in now could replace that?
I'm not exactly sure it would. I can definitely see um, those tariffs probably helping out, but it just don't seem like it would be enough to replace that much. Because you got to look at it. The majority of Americans don't make over 100 grand. You know what I'm saying? The majority of Americans don't make that kind of money.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. We
Yeah.
yeah.
So it would be, I would have to look at those numbers, to tell you, more about it. You know what I mean? But just by the little numbers that I saw, what the tariffs are bringing in, every year, I just don't see how that would be enough money. That would be hard to see.
I don't know if I trust Google or not to answer that ask that question.
You're right about that. You're right about that. I'm gonna get in right here, and I want to ask you another question, man. About culture, man. We talk about traditional American values, faith, family, patriotism, free speech. What do you think right now is being challenged the most? I'm talking about those values, like I said, faith, family, patriotism, and free speech. Which one of those values you think are being challenged the most?
Let's see. What do I think is being challenged the most? I don't know how to answer that, Darius.
Okay, so just like, all right, do you believe that we, um, as far as our faith, do you think people are challenging our faith, or do you think people are coming at our faith some kind of way in America?
Coming out of our faith, you mean our
Belief system.
religion?
Yeah, religion.
Well, you got the atheists, and we got a bunch of different religions here. Uh, the only thing that I feel is attacking it personally would be the atheists and the Islam people
Okay.
that are not about this country's values. And, you know, the Bible wasn't included, or God, well, God was included in the wording written of the Constitution. Um, those people, they don't share our values. That's the way I feel.
Okay. Okay. You said the Muslim people and the what kind of people that don't share our values
The
again?
atheists,
Atheists. Okay. Okay. Um. So
they
what do you
know the
think?
people that don't believe in God, believe in
Okay.
religion. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So what do you believe we need to do to kind of protect our country, protect ourselves against those type of people?
I think we need to go back to our traditional values, man. I mean, just God and country.
Okay.
God and country, putting God back into schools, you know, getting parents back in church, I think will fix a lot of problems. I really do.
Okay. Okay. You think that'll fix most of our issues, okay? And so just by being, in America, I've noticed, that maybe some of the old systems that we used to have don't quite get funded as well. Have you noticed that?
Uh, Give me some examples.
Like just let's give an example of like children's programs, programs for children.
The Luring Center.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you see any of those really, for kids anymore? Like, kind of like they used to be around.
Daycares like it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, we still, yeah, daycares ain't as not as many daycares as we
You
used to
mean
have.
like at Miss Penny's Kingdom?
Boy, we had a bunch. We had a bunch of daycares then. There we
Woo!
15 daycares.
They was everywhere, man. I mean, so like the news lines, every now and then you'll catch it where they're abusing these children. Stuff's going on. I don't know what's going on right now, man. Um, yeah, I don't even know how to answer that question, Darius. Hit me with another.
I got you. I got you. I'm gonna get back to this crime and law enforcement question
Hmm.
about policemen. I said defund the police, and you told me what you thought about that. Um, and we talk about defund the police, and we talk about some of these other things about policemen. Um, so we've had several police uh, things go on with police, and whether they were shootings or things of that nature. Do you have an issue with how that's ran dealing with the policemen?
So I have an issue with the way that it's being ran.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As far as our police situation, as far as policemen allowed to just basically be hired as a policeman, no real. I mean, you have a background check, but it's not a system. Do you think we need stricter background checks on policemen? Do you think we need
Well,
stricter law on policemen?
felonies can't become a policeman.
Okay,
They do background checks.
okay.
Um, police morale's collapsed. We just talked the whole defund the police thing. Response times. They already tried this. Response times went up, and the criminals noticed that.
Yeah.
It don't work, man.
Okay. 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 Well, I pretty much all the questions I got for you, but I got a caller who is now want to come in and ask you some questions, and you can ask the caller some questions. So I want to leave it open for any caller to come in, and they may ask you some questions or ask me some questions. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine as long as we can keep it respectful.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
Hello.
Hello. So you probably want to turn your. I got Mr. Nutty in here. Let's see. I think he turned his microphone on, or all right. Let's see if I can get him in here. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Well, we might have lost the caller. Let's see if we can get him back. Okay. Might be some issues on my end. Um, Maybe we can get some folks back in here. Um, I'm gonna ask you a couple more things, man. Unless we get some more callers in here. Um, so um, we're taking a look at just America in this day and age, my guy. Um, and we're looking at President Trump. What do you think we're going to happen on the next election cycle? What do you think is going to, as far as you think we're going to go back conservative again, or do you think we're going to end up back in a situation where conservatives buy out this time, or how do you think we're looking in the next, 4 years as far as the election goes?
You know, no one ever knows. Um, I mean, personally, I hope it's conservative. I mean, that's political beliefs. We don't know who that candidate's going to be. JD Vance, vice president, I would love to see him run. Um, that's I love hearing that man talk. I mean, he's the way he puts some of these our NATO nations. He's spoken there and he's put them in check on what they needed to do and what they haven't been doing, procrastinating. I mean, just calling everyone out on their BS.
Yeah,
Uh, people fear us again. People respect us again. People don't think we're just a bunch of freaking pushovers that you just do whatever the hell you want to. Uh, I think Trump proved that with Venezuela's president. Man literally said, "Come get me," and he come got him.
yeah,
You
he sure
know,
did.
that, that's another thing too. While we're talking about that,
Yeah,
Democrats they put a bounty on this man's head. They put a bounty on this man's head, and they want to cry about it whenever Trump actually goes and does something about it. It's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. Now, do you feel like Trump went about that the right way? Should he have, went by other means by doing that, or, I mean, I've heard a bunch of different things about that particular president. And do you think there might have been some other ways that he could have went about that, or you think he went about that the right way?
Well, I don't think all right. So I think any way you do it, someone's going to find a reason to say that, hey, that was wrong. But the way he did it sent the world an entire message. Don't screw with us.
Okay.
Do you even know what that was about?
Yeah, yeah. I've heard a lot of things, and I think right now they say he's being charged with drug trafficking.
A lot of drug trafficking, and it had a lot to do with the oil.
Oil. Yeah, I've heard that Venezuela is sitting on billions and billions of barrels of oil.
What is the law? What is that lawsuit? I can't remember what oil companies are. Where actually Venezuela owes these oil companies billions of dollars for that they didn't even pay. These companies come in there and set up shop, and then Venezuela kicked them out and took it over, and never even paid these companies billions of dollars. But that's
Wow.
that's not what it's about though. But I just figured I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And like I said, I've heard a lot of different things in there, and I guess with this trial, what about the trial? Do you think that he should have brought him back to United States of America and had a trial, or do you think maybe they should have had the trial in Venezuela, or how do you think that should have went?
Could you imagine if Trump would have actually killed that man? Could you
Mm,
imagine what would happen right now?
mm.
Um, I mean, the man he went, got him out, brought him to New York, and he's awaiting trial. I mean, he could have very easily killed the man. No U.S. soldiers got killed. It was
Mm.
in and out. It was well planned.
That was remarkable. Now, did any other people? Now, I know some other people had to get killed, right?
Oh yeah, some of the it was from my reading. I did not see, and I'm not claiming to know this 100%, but from my reading, I seen where some Cubans got killed trying to protect the president, and the Cubans were supposed to have been from the cartels, the drug cartels that were down there.
Okay, okay,
Now I will dig into that further, but that is what I have read.
okay, okay. So, do you believe that when he went in there and got this Venezuelan president, that was going to help stop the flow of drugs in the United States of America?
Well, I would hope so. He'd been blowing them fishing boats out of the water.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that when they were blowing those fishing boats. Unfortunately, now, they said it hadn't been confirmed who they was, or I don't. I hope it wasn't nobody. You know what I mean? Was just out there, out there fishing and got blowed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there wasn't no fishing boats, man. Them jerkers on the news media trying to make it out. Oh, this poor fisherman is just blown to smithereens. Come on, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
What?
I guess
Go ahead.
yeah, I guess that was all in trying to curtail drugs from coming into the United States. One more thing I want to ask you about too is about the National Guard. Trump has pulled out the National Guard in some cities, and what do you feel about that? Do you think that was necessary, or you think like some people say he went a little bit overboard in doing that?
Uh, all right, so this is where I stand on that. So if you, so we're gonna use ICE to start with. So if you have ICE come in and they're trying to do their job, and you have literally mobs of people trying to stop them from doing their job, and they need reinforcements to get these illegal people out that don't belong here. I mean, absolutely, I think it was necessary. If uh, I mean, to me, right is right, wrong is wrong. You did wrong when you first come into this country the way that you did. I mean, to me, I'm not going to show you mercy. I'm not going to show you mercy. I'm going to grab you, and I'm going. If it was me, and I'm going to send you back to your country just as fast as you got here.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I understand that point, and like I said, hopefully, at some point we can get to where if somebody comes in, we can spot them, identify them, and whatever reason you come in here, whether it's illegal, whether it's legally, you actually here trying to work and you're trying to become a citizen, we can figure that out within a short amount of time.
So why do you think? Why do you think that they kept coming? They kept coming here. What was the reasons that kept making them come here?
Well, I can see economic opportunities. Some of them people come here, boy, and they make it rich. They get good money because some of those countries are very poor that they're coming from. They're probably running from crime. They're probably running from bad economic countries and things of that nation. They come to America and there's jobs, so they can make a good living and live pretty good.
Yeah, I get that, but do you think there was anybody out there saying, "Hey, come on, everything's going to be all right. We're going to give you a check as soon as you come across the border"? Do you think there was anybody doing that? Do you think
Ah,
Soros had anything to do with that?
who?
George Soros.
Soros, he could have. I don't say he didn't. He probably invited him. Say, come on, we got money for you.
Well,
He might. I don't
I
say he
just think
didn't.
that's a possibility.
There's a possibility. I ain't saying he didn't. But at the same time, you know,
I,
uh,
I I do think that there was a record breaking number of illegals that come into this country before Trump ran again for his second term.
okay,
Because California, I'm going to use California as an example. They do not believe in voter ID. They believe in letting these illegals vote. Now, you have all these people there, and that determines how many seats they got, blah, blah, blah. Trump's working on getting them out, and then hopefully, this is my hope, the seats will get adjusted in office. Now, if we have voter ID, only legal U.S. citizens will be able to vote in their state and in their federal for presidency, whatever it may be. And honestly, that's the way that it should be.
yeah, yeah, I definitely can see that. Um, but like I said, we need to look at that with a magnifying glass to be sure uh, that we're getting at accurate numbers on who's legal coming here voting, who's illegal, things of that nature. You know, because it's kind of hard for you to come in and you don't have any kind of anything and just vote. I don't know how you would do that because you have to in order to vote you have to be registered, okay, and then they get your information, they get your license, they get all your information, and
That's
you
the
have
way
to
it's
be,
supposed to be.
you know what I mean. And once you're registered, when you come into the voting booth, they're supposed to look you up on the registration list, right?
Well, we
When
do
they
things in Alabama and the way they do things in in another state.
Yeah, okay,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
some states you go to, It's like walking into a different country, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Every
yeah,
state has different laws. You got red states, you got blue states, you got sanctuary cities.
yeah,
Uh, my question is, this, I mean, what exactly is going on in these sanctuary cities, and why is crime rate so damn high in these sanctuary cities?
yeah. That is very interesting. These sanctuary cities where they're taking in all these illegal immigrants and they're allowing them to stay there. I guess because like they're running from places like Texas and places like that. They're getting away from them and
Well,
going
I
to
mean, I get why they're running. They want to stay here.
yeah,
They trying to find a safe place.
yeah, yeah,
We tired of
that-
footing the bill, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand
I
that.
am.
I understand. I understand that. Man, I was going to ask you another key topic, man.
I messed
Uh,
you up, didn't I?
yeah, you got me with that one. I'm gonna say this one term. I want to see how you feel about this particular fella. He was a president. His name is Barack Obama. Um, what do you uh, think that during Barack Obama's presidency, him passing health care, him, uh, uh, I think he opened up a pathway for immigrants to come to the United States. What do you think of Barack Obama's work here in the United States of America?
Mm, I liked his healthcare plan whenever it first come out. Um, that's really all I can say.
Okay, okay, okay. You pretty much agree with the healthcare plan.
I did, and I'll be honest with you, I've never had healthcare until this year,
Yeah.
and actually signed on there and had a $900 credit I could have been using each month that I didn't even know about.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's Obamacare or if that's Trump stuff, what it is, but that was healthcare.gov. I
Yeah.
believe today is
Obamacare.
the 15th. Today's
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah. 15.
So today or tomorrow might be the deadline of you actually going on there and signing up for that.
It is. It is. Yep. That is so true. That is so true. Yeah, I'm shocked to hear that from you. That's interesting. Man. I'm thinking, man. I'm about all out of questions, man. I really enjoyed talking with you, man. We got to definitely get together and do this again. Um, I sure had a blast talking with you. Um,
This is the way it should be, man. I mean, people should be able to communicate about differences.
that's it. That's it, man. And like you say, if we can sit down and talk these things out, man, and learn from one another, I think, hey, that's what's gonna make America great. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, man. Yeah.
But I am
So
going to say this again before we leave, though. I do think that you're more conservative than what you realize.
you think I am?
I do, man.
Okay. Hey, look, you may be more liberal than what you realize.
Uh,
I was sitting there, you were shocking me a lot. I was like, wow, I didn't think you some of the things, but
so what? All right. So I'm going to do my homework, and I want you to do your homework also. I
yes,
want
sir.
you to actually go, and this is simple. This is for anyone. I can't see how many people's watching, but
Yeah,
anybody else is watching, I would encourage everyone to actually go look into. Don't go off of what anyone else tells you that you need to believe in. I want you to look inside yourself, ask yourself, what are your core beliefs? And then I want you to go off of that. Now you can go online and you can search what is a Democrat, what are their values versus what is a Republican's values. And then I would encourage you to go from there, make your own decision.
I agree 100%. With me being a historian and going from history, um, most of my ancestors and my family members um, started out, like I said, as Republicans. Started out as Republicans, and when the 1964 Civil Rights Bill was passed, most of them shifted over to the Democratic Party because they felt that Civil Rights Bill was going to um, help them in some ways as far as getting freedoms, getting a little leg up, and that's when they start switch to voting Democrat and becoming a Democratic bloc. I'm looking at some of what here recently. I think we had this last election. Black Americans um, cast their vote a little bit more for Trump this time around. Did you see that?
I did, and I didn't know if we were going to pull Georgia or not, but they surprised me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It definitely did. Definitely did.
You could ride across state line over there, where I go pick my son up, and I was seeing Harris signs everywhere.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's
Thought it was
very.
going to be a close one, but it was a landslide.
Yeah, yeah. It was. It was. It shocked me. It definitely shocked me. I didn't know. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. But yeah, I'm definitely like I said, I'm gonna do my homework and you do your homework, and we're gonna get to the bottom of these things and see what our values really are, and everybody listening hopefully and get a chance to listen in the future. Hopefully they do the same thing, man. And I really enjoyed talking with you today, man. And we definitely, like I said, got to do this again sometime.
Me too, brother.
Yeah, man. All right, man. There he is. I see his face now. Hey, I like that Auburn Tiger hat, man.
Yes, sir. War Eagle.
Hey, man, we got to get things fixed, man. We got to get things
Uh,
fixed up. What we gonna do about it? What we gonna do about
I
it?
don't know what we gonna do, man. We got Tulane. Hopefully, we can make something happen. I'm impressed with the quarterback. I mean, looking and stuff. The only thing that worries me is the guy's not an SEC coach, but they said Nick Saban wasn't an SEC coach.
Yeah,
He come in, he did great things.
he did.
So
He did. Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, man. I know you probably gonna get in the bed, get some sleep, man. We get back at it again. But I sure
all right.
appreciate you on
Yes, sir. You
coming.
take care of yourself.
Yes, sir. You too. All right. All right, viewers. I'm glad you guys got a chance to watch today. I had an opportunity to talk with Mr. Sean English. Thank you.